So my best friend growing up, his name is Eric Pearson. He's not with us anymore. He was dating Sasha, which is Vanessa's best friend.
His best friend was trying to set us up for the longest time, didn't work. And one night, my best friend's parents were out of town and thought it was a good idea to have him over. This was like later towards the night, so Paul was coming back from a party.
He kind of told me about her about 2 or 3 months before I actually met her. And I guess one night the stars aligned and he said, hey, that girl I was telling you about, he's hanging out with Sasha, she's hanging out with Sasha right now. You should come over and meet her. It was funny, so I was pulling in my car, I saw a car pulling out and it happened to be her. So she was just leaving as I was coming in.
I was getting over waiting, and so I went to the bar.
Well, call her, bring her back. So she came back. I was just coming back from a party, which is kind of funny. So I was in just starting college, and I had a rack of beer with me. And she came in back in the house. First thing she said is, "Where's the alcohol at?" I'm like, "Oh, I like this girl." So yeah, we talked all night. It was about 4 a.m. in the morning, still talking. The sun's coming up.
But it just like instantly felt comfortable. Like, I mean, that was like our first time meeting. Just, I felt safe with him. I don't know, it was like the first time I was with like a guy where I felt safe.
Went to sleep and she cuddled up with me before we even got into her friend's bed. And I remember she put retainers in, and we didn't do anything or anything along those lines. But I just really knew at that moment I wanted to kiss her, but I didn't want to kiss her with the retainers in. So I don't know if it was the alcohol in me or just I was comfortable there from the start, but I reached her in her mouth and took her retainer out.
I was so surprised. I was like, this man did not just do that. I mean, it was funny. I mean, but I was like, this is so weird because I'm really grossed out about saliva. So I was like, what is he doing? And it caught me off guard. Yeah.
And then I just went into it and I gave her a kiss. After that, we just kind of slowly got to know each other, and over the years, we're at where we're at now. I made the mistake and I didn't get her number, so I got it through Eric, and then I reached out to her and I said, hey, do you want to meet up and go grab some food and see a movie? And she said yes, and we met up at the Spectrum. And
I could tell he was like a good guy, but I was about to leave to go to school in Oregon. And I was like, I just met him. Like, doesn't make sense to do long distance, but he's a great guy and it's hard to find. So it was mixed because I wasn't sure what to do about it. It was mixed. I was like, okay, I'll just go with the flow and see what happens. Yeah.
From the very beginning, we both knew it was going to be a challenge with the distance. She was going to be starting school in Oregon in about I met her, I believe it was in July. She was starting school in August. So the distance was the hardest part. Actually, at the beginning, right before she went to school, she told me that, I don't think this is gonna work. And I said, okay. So I just left it at that.
I looked at his Snapchat and it was like, him at his party with this hot girl, and I was like, I want him now. So the next day I hit him up on Facebook, I think, or something, and was just like, hey, and just acted like nothing happened. And yeah, he was like, Vanessa, it still stands. Like, I know what you're trying to do. Either, you know, but well, he said it like in person. He's like, either make it something, or I was like, okay, well, let's talk about it when, you know, let's talk about it when we're in winter break. And then I asked him to be my boyfriend. I made a dinner for him. I never made like a home-cooked meal before for anyone. Usually I just pop the microwave, made him a meal. I had this like cute little penguin toy from like, I don't know where I got it, but it had like you could write a secret message in there. And then I asked him to be my boyfriend. But yeah, honestly, it was just when I realized like, okay, I was about to lose him when I saw, because that girl was really attractive. And I heard really nice things about her. And I was like, I'm gonna lose this man if I don't jump on that. And I knew it was gonna be hard to find a good guy like him. So, yeah.
About every other month, I'd either fly down there or she'd come fly me. So we saw each other once a month, essentially, which was, made it a lot easier, essentially. Being in a long distance relationship, the first thing we had to learn on with each other's communication, our communication style, our communication type. It was interesting. I could never talk to her enough. It got to the point towards the end of the long distance relationship before she finished school and we moved in each other, we moved to Seattle, that we would go to sleep with each other at night with our laptops open, video chatting each other, which is, I thought was kind of cute. It was her idea. After we moved in with each other, it was a little bit of a shock at first, being, you know, in a long distance relationship, and then always being there. Within 2 weeks, I think we got the hang of it. You know, every relationship has ups and downs. I think our biggest triumph that we had to go through together was when we bought a house. And you know, an hour and a half before we took ownership of it, it flooded. And our realtor said we didn't need to have a memorandum for the contract, that emails would be fine, that the sellers can take care of everything. And we realized that was not the fact when we got back. So going through that stressful time together, and I think really brought us closer. After going through that, I know we can survive anything. Probably about 2 months after we started doing the long distance, I told her, you know, that I loved her, and she didn't reciprocate that. I didn't expect her to, but I just wanted to put it on the table. You know, that's how I felt.
Well, I responded, said thank you, because I wasn't in love yet with him, and I didn't want to be that kind of person to say I love you if I didn't mean it, because that's happened to me before and it really hurts. So. Yeah, I felt like an asshole when I said thank you. And I was like, when the time, like, I just want to say it when I mean it. But yeah, it was just fast for him. Like, I mean, for me, because when he said I love you, we hadn't been together for long. I mean, it was like about 2 months, 2, 3 months. I mean, it was a short span. So for me, I was like, I need time. Yeah.
And I think it was about 4.5 months later. It was right before New Year's.
Yeah, so it was time for me. It wasn't like an instant, like, oh, I love him. It definitely took time, but I always move slow when it comes to emotional feeling. But just the continue of him making me feel safe, and like he never did anything to screw up. Like, I kept dating like the bad guys, and this is like first time dating a good guy, and it was a nice feeling. So after time, I was like, okay, I can really see future with him. I can see this going all the way. And then it took me a while to I talked to my roommate about it at the time, and she was like, well, do you love him? Because he's already dropped the L-bomb with you before. And I was like, I think so. I mean, I had to talk it out with her, and she's like, no, what you're describing, you love this man. And yeah, I had to really talk it out and figure out what these feelings were. Yeah, I've been in love before, but it was just a more, I don't know what to describe, a more mature love that I felt. Yeah.
She made me a dinner at Karen's house essentially, and then I still have the toy. She has this little toy that she got from, I think it was McDonald's, and she had a little note inside of it, and it said, "I love you, and then will you be my boyfriend," essentially. So that was kind of when we got more serious, and then went from just dating to being in a serious relationship. But yeah, that's kind of how that one unraveled. Right before our second year of dating, it must have been would have been 2016. I had a friend I grew up with, her name was Lucy. Her mom actually owns a jewelry store in San Juan. And I don't know, it was right when I was first starting Long Beach State, so I was transferring from Saddleback College to finish up my 4-year degree. And I just knew I wanted to marry her. I bought the ring, but I waited to propose. Unfortunately, Vanessa did find out that I had the ring, and it was because we went to my friend's wedding, and Lucy, the individual that her mom had the jewelry shop that I bought it from, came up to me, had not met Vanessa yet. She said, "I saw the ring, it is beautiful." And Vanessa's sitting right by me. And Vanessa just looks at me, she's like, "What?" I'm like, oh God. So then after the wedding, I had to explain to her, yes, I do have a ring, but I think we should wait a little bit longer, so we don't put stress on the relationship, and you feel like this is something, we both feel like this is something we really want. So 4 years later, I finally proposed to her. I asked for her mom and dad's permission. That was very nerve-wracking, and that was right before COVID, actually, in 2019. What I did, I contacted my sister just to let her know, hey, I need your help. I'm going to be hiring a photography team. You're not going to see them, but they're going to be there. What I need you to do is help coordinate. So I'm also going to have a violinist and a guitar player just that pops out of nowhere. That was what I was envisioning. Well, I didn't know where it was going to be, so I did a lot of research, and I found a restaurant in Seattle called Salty's. It's right on the water, on the east side of Seattle. You see overlooking the water, and you see the city in the background. Ate the dinner, we're eating dinner, and I told Vanessa, order whatever you want. And it's a 5-star restaurant. It's a little expensive. And she's looking at me, no, are you serious? I'm like, Vanessa, trust me, you want to order whatever you want to order.
Looking back, I should have, but I was so oblivious to it. I mean, him and his sister, because his sister helped him with the engagement, they both thought that I knew, because the night before, we're trying to figure out what movies, and I was like, oh, let's put on a romantic comedy. And it was about wedding stuff, and then the day, I guess I was acting kind of weird, but like I don't know what it was. I was completely oblivious, and I don't know how that could have happened with the engagement, because like it's a nice seafood restaurant. He played it off as like, oh, my sisters always wanted to try this place in Seattle, and so he got all dressed up, and then when we went there, he was getting the most expensive stuff on the menu. I was getting actually really pissed off. I didn't want to show it to her because we were tight on money, and I was like, what is this man doing? Just splurging on, and I should have, but I didn't pick the piece up, and so I ordered the cheapest stuff on the menu, and then his sister was like, oh, let's take pictures, because like where the proposal was at a seafood restaurant. It was right by the water, right on the lake. And we happened to get a spot where there was no one there. So it was all to ourselves, and so we took pictures. And then as Michelle's taking pictures of us, I see like, I saw someone with like a guitar or something, and I, again, should have realized, okay, this is my moment. But instead I was like, oh, Michelle, do you mind if we take pictures of you later? I think something's about to go down, and I don't want to be the one to ruin someone's moment. Which I don't know why I thought that, no one else was there, but I was like, I think we're gonna ruin someone's romantic moment. But so I was walking away, and Michelle and Paul wouldn't move, and I'm like, guys, let's go. Like, we don't want to be those people to be like, something's about to go down, I can sense. And then Paul was behind me, I was talking to Paul, then I turned around to Michelle, and she had her phone up, and that's when it hit me. When she had her phone still up, I was like, and then the guitar started playing, the person started singing, and that's when it hit me. I was like, oh my God, this is my moment. But I should have picked up all the hints and all, but I know, completely oblivious to it all, which was great. I'm glad it was a surprise. I'm glad it was intimate, because I didn't want there to be a whole crowd. So it was perfect. Like, it was the perfect proposal.
I had no home to rely on, driving around in a passenger van, dreaming of when I'd ever begin to start my life. That's when I moved to the city to be on the stage, but the curtain had closed. You walked in the room, and that's when I knew that I was home, and my life will begin. Didn't believe it was true till I met somebody. I met somebody like you. Had no direction to move till I met somebody. I met somebody like you. You took a flight from the desert to take up a room with a mutual friend. Couches and wine, and everything's fine. Just one day at a time. Somebody like you. Had no direction to move till I met somebody. I met somebody like you. Somebody like you. Somebody like you. I was just fading away till I met you. I was just notes on a page till I met you. I never imagined the day when I'd meet somebody like you. Couldn't believe it was true true till I met somebody. I met somebody like you.
It's been quite the journey, and I think we're both ready for the next step.